Alright, so I'm a wage slave and I'm cool with it. Literally verbatim what the title says. I know these days it's really in vogue to sort of resent your lot in life if you are working a 9 to 5 or just working a very standard, like not super duper exciting job. Um, but look, life really is what you make it. I'm going to show you exactly why and how that is, and how I've actually come to really appreciate what is essentially my 9 to 5 now, as an assistant manager for a commercial gym. So first and foremost, I see it like it's a video game tycoon type thing, but with higher stakes. So like, I know a lot of people play like tycoon games and shit on their phones. I used to love that shit when I was a teenager. I don't know why, it was just easy dopamine. And like, it's just like that, but in real life. Like I can see like the stats of my gym literally leveling up. They call them KPIs, but they're just stats. It's really fun to see what has an effect and what sort of buffs those stats and what nerfs them. For instance, if there's conflict on the team that we have to find a way to resolve in a professional and safe manner, like when it's a conflict, that's obviously a bit of a debuff, a bit of a nerf. But once we find a way to resolve it, it takes a lot of thinking and planning and organizing a meeting, and then we have to make sure that we, say everything that we have to and do so responsibly, and make sure their feelings are considered, and make sure they know that they're appreciated, and like highlight all the things that they're doing well, but also carefully and carefully and like compassionately explain to them, like, why we have to sort things out, and then we have to fix this and fix that. And it's just, it's really cool to see like all that work and effort result in a stronger team, for instance, in that scenario, and for that to actually become a buff to the gym's performance. It's subtle, but you can definitely see it. And you can pick it up in like your staff's mood as well. Like because me and my general manager are very passionate about the job. Like we're always like, we work very hard, and even outside of the job we think about it a lot, because we do enjoy it genuinely to a degree. Obviously it gets to a point where it's, you're a bit sick of it. It's a bit, you want to think of anything else. But that's just the case with anything that you do a lot of. Like sometimes you get a little bit sick of it. But anyway, that's besides the point. It's, you're leveling up different aspects of the gym, like the skills of the staff. That's something you can level up. The condition of the actual facility itself, that's something you can level up. And it's just cool that you can work on these different aspects, like the different things, little events within the gym you can invest into, like time and energy and company money, and that provides a little bit of a buff. And it's, just lots of different little things that you can string together to improve and level up. It's just fun. And, it's fun to be a little bit adventurous with it, and it's fun to get a bit creative and plan it out, and then invest time into bringing a thought and an idea into reality to improve a business, like an actual real life business. It's very interesting, and it's cool that I'm leveling up too in my skills and improving socially, and figuring out leadership as well. Like that's a really exciting journey as well. Like I don't think people talk about this too much, but when you're not a natural leader, when you're a very introverted person, figuring out how to lead and how to be confident, and how to gain respect and that sort of thing, it's like the hardcore mode of a video game, but that just makes it more satisfying. Like thriving on a hardcore Minecraft world is much more fun, much more impressive, than if you were to do it on like regular hard mode, for instance. And it's like that in real life when you achieve some difficult shit, and you start figuring out how to give people direction, and how to develop them, and how to help them improve, and how to help them cohere with the rest of the team. And and how to foster positive team dynamics and a positive team culture. It's really, really hard to do, especially these days, because people take the piss out of working 9 to 5 a little bit. Like, they don't treat it seriously. Like, you know, back a couple decades ago, people used to, no matter what it was, if they were shoveling coal into a furnace on the fucking Titanic, they would take that shit really seriously and take a lot of pride in their work. And it's just cool to find ways to bring that out in people in the current modern day, because it's so fucking hard. And it can be really disheartening when that comes naturally to me and to my boss, but it's like, I don't know, it's like dragging them across fucking broken glass sometimes to try and find ways to, I guess, dragging ourselves over broken glass to try and find ways to bring that hardworking spirit and pride out in the workers as well. Like, working in a gym, I get to help people a lot, and our team gets to help people a lot. And that's like the whole gig. Even the less flattering parts of it, like cleaning the facility, like the whole gig is helping people in one way or another, directly or indirectly. And I think that's worth taking pride in. Call me crazy. Is it cringe? Maybe. I don't care though. Like, at the end of the day, in my belief is that nothing really matters, and you know, it's all subjective, and anything that means anything only means something because someone thought it did or thought it does, if that makes sense. So, you know, I think on that basis, it's a perfectly defensible thing to be prideful about your work, even if it's, you know, not like a movie level of fucking interesting or whatever. Like, there are subtle things, there are subtle ways to make your job really impressive. Like, we've all seen videos of those guys who are like really good at cutting up like sushi or something, and they're just like really artful and skillful at it. That can be any job. That can be anything. Like, that level of mastery and expertise and skill can be present in the smallest things. And I don't know, call me crazy, but I think like conducting and managing a bunch of people and a facility and coordinating with like dozens of higher ups and other businesses, I think to do that well is fucking impressive. And that's what I'm aiming for. But yeah, that's a long tangent on that, so I better keep it moving. But yeah, back to the whole video game tycoon analogy. It's really fun to figure out what makes a business successful. Like, it is really fun to figure out what works and what doesn't, and then optimize the things that do, and optimize workflows and systems, and decrease inefficiencies, and just bring out the best in a business. The same way it's awesome to be able to bring out the best in people and the team and you know, our customers, our members. It's just a really good feeling to be an asset to a company, because it's not so opaque as, you know, what does it mean to be a good person? No, it's criteria, and you can meet that criteria. To be a good asset to a company, like, you just have to make them make more money, improve their business. And you can break that down into very specific criteria, and then you just work your way through that criteria, and that's how you be a good manager. Like, I don't know. It's just very cool to figure out what works. Yeah. Anyway, on to the next part of this I wanted to discuss. Character growth. So finding ways to be resilient to the stress and the responsibility of the role of assistant manager, or just management, I guess, because I don't know what it's like for other assistant general managers versus general managers at different places in different industries, but where I'm at, like, I do the same things as my general manager. I'm just not as responsible for all of them the way she is. Like, I'm still highly responsible for it, but I guess the buck sort of more so stops with my general manager. Yeah, so like, it's, you know, there's a lot of overlap there in that Venn diagram, but anyway, I digress. Yeah, finding ways to kind of not crack or waver or break or underperform under the pressure of the job is really interesting to me, and it pushes me to try harder in every other aspect of my life as well, a little bit. It's just a very fun an enjoyable and meaningful challenge, because I've seen a lot of people sort of wither under the pressure of just the entry-level job at my gym, but also the management part and the leadership part, because it goes membership services representative, which I'll refer to as MSR, then it goes to team lead, and then it goes to assistant general manager and then manager. I've seen people wither and struggle emotionally under the stress of like step one on that ladder. So it's cool to wear a combination of all the hats at the same time and then do a bit extra on top of that as part of my role. I guess I kind of relish a challenge a little bit, and the harder it is, the better it feels sometimes. Just doing hard things and stretching myself thin is a satisfying challenge and makes me appreciate the nicer parts of life, and it puts into perspective what is actually important. Because like when I'm completely stuffed and wiped out from work, I come home, and it's like, fuck, like I would enjoy like the most basic like recreational activity right now. Like YouTube is so much more enjoyable when I've kind of earned it, rather than just like wasting a day doing it. And I know that's like common sense to a lot of people, but for people like me who didn't start out as a particularly conscientious individual, that's a bit of a discovery, if anything, and it becomes a way of motivating yourself so that you're not constantly relying on discipline as well. Like the hardness of it is kind of its own reward as well. So when it sucks, it's like, okay, this is just another flavor of life. I like spicy things. They hurt, but they're also tasty at the same time. Like that's kind of the analogy I would provide to further explicate that. But yeah, I get to help people in a straightforward and transactional way, and I can do so to a very high level. Like I can really go above and beyond for people to help get them into the gym and to help organize their accounts and just get them going and get them started, because we get a lot of new people, and that's kind of like my favorite demographic of the lifting community, are the people that are just getting started, because it's like such a crucible and only a select few people tend to make it through and keep going with it for years and years and years on end. So it's really cool to give people that opportunity and that shot at doing it and trying to move them into that lane in the most frictionless way possible, and doing so while trying to make the business successful, of course. So yeah, I find that really cool, and I find it's grown me tremendously in terms of my character, and it's taught me a lot about how to talk to people and how to make a good conversation, and yeah, I don't know, it's just been very good. It's taught me a lot. But the final thing that I wanted to mention that makes my wage slavery meaningful to me is the currency I earn goes towards my freedom and current projects. So every paycheck I get is another stepping stone, another step closer to financial independence and early retirement. FIRE, basically. If anyone who's watching this, if anyone is familiar with the FIRE movement, I find that enormously exciting, and I kind of relish the fact that I have to earn it, that I have to sort of earn the right to shed the yoke of wage slavery, to shed those shackles or whatever. I think that's I really like that. It's just another way of leveling up, to go back to the video game analogy or metaphor. I'm not fully sure on the distinction really between a metaphor and analogy, which is a little bit embarrassing, but we'll move on. It's really fun to stack my money up and invest huge amounts of it, huge percentages of it. Obviously I don't have a huge amount of money. My net worth currently sits at like maybe 40 grand, not including my assets, like my physical assets, like my car, like my electronics, like whatever else. For that I could probably add another 15 potentially. But I have 20 grand invested, just about. So that's meaningful. That's meaningful money. And I've managed to invest that much in not even half a year. So I'm cracking along, and it's really satisfying to do that. And before I did that, I built up my emergency fund, which is sitting at about 16 grand. That took a little bit longer because I didn't have my expenses in check when I initially started working. Not as much as I should have, but I learned lessons, but that might be a topic for another video. The point is, I really enjoy getting to see the numbers go up, and I really enjoy knuckling down to put more money into the market, even when it's red. Like when I started, it was like the week before, or maybe not, like I'd been investing a little bit before that, maybe a couple months before the Iran thing happened and the Strait of Hormuz closed down or whatever. So my shit went down like 10%. I was investing every time I put more money in, it had gone down another percentage or more, like 1.5 to 2.5, 3, 4, 5, all the way down to like 7 to 10%. I can't remember exactly how far it fell, but somewhere in that range. And it's since, climbed all the way back up, and actually surpassed where it was when I started, which is cool. So I'm finally making a return, but I don't expect it to last very long. I think it's probably going to go back down, but it's far beyond me to speculate on the market. I'm not timing that shit. I'm just DCAing into a broad market index fund. Again, that's a topic for another video. But it's very, very satisfying to build my wealth up, and it's really cool to test myself and see how quickly I can do it. And I do want work to be optional for me as soon as possible. So I'm going to be very aggressive in my savings and investment rate moving forward. I'm in a very favorable position in my life, where my expenses are exceptionally low. I pay fuck all in rent, like it's like $250 a fortnight, because I'm living in like a really small flat just beneath like the house that my mother lives in. It's like the same building. Like I should just say it how it is. I live with my mother. I don't know why I say that with such what's the word? Shame? Yeah, shame. I don't know why I feel shame about that. Like outside of the West, it's really common to have multi-generational houses, where you'll have like parents, grandparents, and like young adults all in the same family living together in the same house. It's very financially advantageous, and I don't really care about the taboo of it. I mean, I clearly do. I care about the taboo of it because it's, I'm a human being. I can't not be scared to be ousted from the in-group, I guess. But it is so enjoyable to stack my money in such a, aggressive fashion. And I'm very lucky to be able to do that. But yeah, that's the final thing I had. That's why I'm pretty cool with being a wage slave. I'm adaptable to it. I have a very Spartan lifestyle, and I find it pretty good, pretty enjoyable. It's all about just finding enjoyment in the things that would not really appeal to most people. It's corny, but there really is a silver lining to every grey, black, heavy cloud. And I don't know if this will be the funnest part of my life, but I'm sure when I'm dying, if I have the time to think about it, I would think back to this time period pretty fondly, thinking back to the grind and the hustle that it took for me to earn my way to wealth and prosperity. It's fucking cool. And the person that it formed me into, I'm sure that, me 5, 10, 15 years from now is going to be a lot better than the me that's speaking to you right now. And the reason I'm so sure of that is because the me that's speaking to you right now is far, far improved and far better and far more decent than the person that was making fucking little cringy but funny as fuck, to be honest, montages for YouTube back 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago, whatever. How fucking old am I again? Let me do the math here. Yeah, 10 years ago. Yeah, 100%, even a little bit longer ago than that. I've been off and on doing this over the years for a long fucking time. But yeah, that's about all I've got to say. I hope somebody listens to this and finds value in it. I'm not going to be that guy who's like, I'm not doing this for views, I'm not doing it, because like, I'm not doing it for views, but I'm doing it for hopefully people to talk to and to begin a bit of a community and see if there's any sort of an audience of people who might want to listen to my bullshit and my ideas and whatever the fuck else I have to say, because God knows nobody else usually wants to listen to me. So yeah, anyway, that's all I got. Bye.